Hey guys, welcome to the shop. Back on the never-ending project of the do-all saw. Gonna be trying to machine the center hub pulley, or the center hub of the variable, God, that's like a tongue twister. The variable speed drive pulleys. Got to make some bushings, press them in. Got some gear mail and stuff, some other things that I'll share with you. So, thanks for watching, guys. Let's get started. So there's our old center hub, the one that we have to replicate. We need to part off the new one that we're making in the lathe. It looks like it's 8 3/8 of an inch, basically. We need a little more accurate measurement than that. And the only thing that I have to measure stuff of this length accurately would be the set of 0 to 12 inch Mitutoyo calipers, digital. Nice to have. Don't use them that often, or at least I don't, but they are nice to have. So 8.373, so a couple thousandths off of 8 3/8 of an inch, or what is that in millimeters? 212.66 millimeter. There we go. We're just going to cut the new one to 8 3/8. Then we got to work on our bores, do our counter bore for our lip seal, snap ring grooves, all that jazz. Should be good enough. I guess slightly over halfway. So first mistake of the day, I was supposed to machine this bore until it cleaned up, that was good concentric ID and OD, then stop, and then start working my bearing area. So I had a ledge for my bearing to press up against. Well, I didn't do that. I just machined it over halfway through to the size of my bearing. So now my bearing has the potential to migrate if it ever came loose. It's not going to happen, but still, I wanted a ledge in here for my bushing to press up against. I just got carried away and didn't do it. So not all is lost. I can fix it. I'm just going to open my bearing area up probably 25 to 50 thousandths more. That way I have a ledge in here and I'm going to roll with it. I'll do the same thing to the other side, and that way if anybody ever takes this thing apart, they'll think I did it on purpose. So here I'm using a 1/2 inch inch boring bar that holds 3/8 inch high-speed steel. And I'm going to use this bar to make that sharp shoulder in there for my bronze bushing to set up against, simply because I don't have any inserts with a sharp enough radius or with a radius that I want. And these things are good to have around. You can ground that high-speed steel into pretty much any shape that you want, and it works well. So I want to create a shoulder in here that's 2.875 inches from the face here. I've got a piece of high-speed steel that I'm going to touch off the face in this bar. So I'll just come in, touch. That'll be my 0. I don't have a DRO, so this is the way that I usually do it. And then I'll take a known measurement, which is a 1, 2, 3 block on the 2-inch side, and then 875 thousandths worth of gauge blocks. So that's the distance I want to go in here. And I'll take that after I've established 0, take my carriage stop and set these gauge blocks in between the two, bring it up and tighten it up. And then, I'm confident that I'll be going that far down in the bore, which is what I want. So that's the way I'm going to get in there without a DRO. It's just a quick way. And I can do the same thing on the other side and, assure that I get these shoulders in the same spot. Right, so that high-speed steel gave me a pretty decent finish in there. Kind of surprised, really. So 2.1 inches is what we're after here. Then I got to work the bore for the lip seal, which will be 3/8 of an inch in and 2.25 inches on the bore. Yeah, here we go. On the money, 2.1 inches. So we'll work this lip seal area, and then I'll flip it, do the other side the exact same way. Alright, so old 3/8 inch gauge block, just touch the tool off to the face for my 0. Just bring it in between my carriage stop and my lathe saddle. It ain't got to be perfect. We're doing a lip seal seat here. That's a pretty easy way to assure that you get 3/8 or whatever the measurement you need. So this part's pretty much done, minus our snap ring grooves and keyways. So need to go. I'm gonna do those last. Not a big deal. I want to get my bushings and stuff in first. So there we go. this stuff's crazy warped. You can see it's cast, of course. So there's the insert that I'm using on this bronze. Hopefully you can see that. I don't have any more of these. I just happened to get this one in some deal that I got, but you get the idea. Just a good positive cutting insert. I don't think this one's coated or anything. Just sharpened all the way up to the edge. Unlike a lot of inserts that you see, you know, this one is a good sharp edge, which makes it fragile, but also helps in some cases to get a really good finish. So I'm happy with what I'm getting. I don't know what the insert is without specking it out, but you get the idea. Just a good sharp edge works well. 20 thousandths depth of cut, 5 thousandths per rev on the travel, and then 371 RPM on the spindle. That's what gives me this anyway. Now I'm just going to work one bushing at a time. I'm going to turn the OD, bore a hole in it that's undersized, part it off, press it into the spindle, and then bore the spindle as a unit. That's the plan anyway. So I'm just going to flip this around and clean up this side also. So just have a good, good surface to grip. This cast is rough and irregular. So that's kind of the idea. So drilling brass or bronze, for me it's always sounded like a continuous car wreck the whole time I'm doing it, and not pleasant to do. So here I'm using a hand sharpened drill, hoping that it's not quite symmetrical, and we'll drill a bit oversized to give me a little extra chip clearance. I had read up on this before I started, and that had seemed to work for people in the past because it's pretty bad, or pretty well known for breaking drill bits and stuff, and I can see why, because the chips just pack really tight around the bit and have the potential to lock up. But it worked out. I got the hole in there. So most of you guys know that I've been looking for a set of left-handed drills. So I got online, I started doing a little research, and I ran up on this company that was all American made, which I was happy to find. There's not a lot of strictly American made companies producing much anymore, which is a shame, but that's just the way it goes. So I wanted to contact these guys and see if they wanted to work with the channel and send me a set of drills. I was not expecting all that they sent. I would have been perfectly happy with the trial pack that they sent, but they ended up sending me 2 full indexes, which was really nice. This is a set of niobium NB41 left-handed stub drills from a 1/16 or from 1/8 to 3/8. So really nice. I mean, that would probably do the majority of your drill or your broken bolt extraction right there, for most of us anyway. But they sent me that. They sent me this set of standard right twist from 1/16 to 1/4. These are Cobalt M42. Nice, American made drill case. Can't beat that, or index. And then this is the heart of the set, which is a really bright orange, unmistakable left-handed Hewitt case. also niobium NB41, which I'm not familiar with, from a 1/16 to a 1/2 inch and left-handed. So man, that's nice. You will not run up on a small or a regular size bolt that you will not have a left-handed drill bit to remove it with, or at least attempt to remove it. That's how it usually works. So the grinds on these are beautiful. I can't wait to try them. I can't comment on their performance yet, but I just wanted to show those to you. And I wanted to thank Drill Hog. Oh, and you know, that's not it, of course. They really went all out and sent me something life-changing, channel-changing. They sent me $1 million. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it took my breath away. Yeah, I took this to the gas station to get it broken into smaller denominations, but they laughed. And I guess because they didn't have change for it. But anyway, yeah, in a nice letter. It says, "Hi Steve, thanks a million." I guess he's referring to the million that he sent to me, "for the opportunity to feature Drill Hog on your channel." So I'm happy to give him a shot and try them out. What they sent, and then "take care, buddy, Mike." And it says, "from the desk of Montana Mike." I guess that's because they're in Kalispell, Montana. So thank you, Drill Hog. I definitely appreciate that. I can't wait to try these out. They look beautiful. We'll see how they perform. And hopefully they'll save me some grief when I go to remove some broken bolts. So there you go. So that's nice. Thank you, Drill Hog. Appreciate that. So I got some viewer mail here from Vernon Courier over at the YouTube channel The Mature Patriot, Two Busted Thumbs Machining. He's been a supporter of the channel for a long time. He's helped me out quite a bit. Sent me this goldenrod oil can. It's made in America, Hastings, Nebraska. Really nice. The quality of this is very, very good. And I've been using it for a while. I've had some of this stuff for a few weeks. Sent me this 0 to 1 inch micrometer head that is made by Shars. I'm going to turn this into an adjustable table stop for the cutter grinder. Now I've got 2 of these now. And I tell you, the quality of this Shars micrometer head is pretty good. I mean, it's about as smooth as anything that I've ever felt. Nice carbide anvil and 10th divisions, so that'll be really nice. And then the large piece here is a Lumpkin number 513N depth mic. This one's got a larger foot. I've got a depth mic made by Brown and Sharp that has all the rods and stuff, but this one's got the larger foot, which is nice. And I think I'm going to turn this one into my primary use depth mic because it's just nicer than the other one that I've got. And I'm going to take the Brown and Sharp that I have, I think, and butcher the foot off of it, so it's just one-legged. And that way I can use it up next to a shoulder. I don't know. They sell them like that, and it's nice to have the option to measure up next to a ledge. So there you go. Thank you, Vernon. I really appreciate that, and go check him out over at the Mature Patriot. So thank you. So that noise you hear is a small electric heater that I've got running in here. It's like 15 degrees Fahrenheit outside, or what is that? 10 degrees. Right around minus 10 degrees Celsius. So it's cold. It's unseasonably cold, really. That's pretty cold for this area, no matter what time of the year, I guess. So let me get you down here and show you the insert on this. It's a little bar that I'm going to use to just hit this bore, get it. I've got a lot of material to remove out of it, half inch. So this is the insert I want to try. Just a home ground on the cutter grinder. Just a real sharp, positive cutting insert. Let me show you. Alright, so hopefully you can kind of see what's going on there. Just took that insert, was a completely worn out insert, and hit it on the cutter grinder to give it a good, sharp, positive cutting edge. It's similar to what I used to turn the OD of that bronze, as far as its edge anyway, and nose radius. So hopefully that'll give me similar results on the bore. I'm going to try it anyway. So the only problem that I really see working this material is that I don't think a blunt pointed or a blunt carbide insert would work really well on it. I may be wrong on that, but I'm getting a really good finish with this sharp tool. It's not skating on the outside of the material, causing a hard skin, and plus I'm taking a decent cut every time. I do find that the chips seem to break up just finer and finer and finer. If you roll them in your hands. They just break up into fine pieces. And doing a blind bore like this, they seem to pack up in here and just pack around the bar. I'm sure that can affect your finish or your size, and could even cause you some mechanical issues if it was to bind up really hard. That's, I think, what causes broken drills and stuff, is the chips just don't seem to come out of the bore real easy or out of the hole. So I'm going to leave this bore small. That way I can press this bushing into the hub itself and then bore it as one unit. That's the plan anyway. So let's turn this down to its final size. I'm going to open this bore up just a little more and then part this off, and it should be ready to press in. Alright, so that insert's holding up really well. I just diamond polished the edge before I started. And for this type of material, that profile is working really well. Just a good, very keen edge. I couldn't tell you how many people told me that I was wasting my time when I originally started sharpening these things, that they would, that they would never work, they'd be weak. And I agree, this is probably weak, but it works great for this type of material, aluminum, light cuts and steel. Like if you just want to do a little finish pass, take off a few thou or something, I would say that works fine. Obviously it does, So I get asked often my opinion on this little Carver laboratory press that I have here. And for the most part, I like it. You know, depending on the way that you look at it, its size could be either a pro or a con. One of the major downfalls for me is that it's slow to adjust and it does not have a through hole. So if you wanted to broach something, you know, you'd be out of luck, but I like it. A little tight. A little tighter than what I hoped. Probably be fine. Alright guys, that's as far as I can get with the time that I have this week. But I'd have to say it looks pretty good. And is going to work just fine, I think. Still a lot to do on it though. Got the bushing, other bushing in the lathe, about ready to part it off and press it in. And then it's on to the snap-ring grooves and the keyways. Still got the keyways to cut in these also. So basically I'm making this whole part over, if you haven't figured that out already. It was pretty bad shape, so you know, it needed it. So that's it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't by clicking on my little guy up here. Send me an email if you need anything. Comment. I really appreciate those. I always love reading through them and, you know, commenting back when I can. I get a lot of useful information out of that. Thanks to my viewers, my patrons, and my subscribers. So that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.